Well, last Friday, Hamilton City councillors voted down an expansion of the city's urban boundary. The expansion was proposed, part of a proposal by the provincial government, as a way to deal with population growth. Ontario's Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Steve Clark, joins us this morning with more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on this morning.
So does every single municipality have to go through this expansion vote, or is Hamilton's urban boundary specialized in particular?
Well, we're asking all the municipalities in the Greater Golden Horseshoe to look at a land needs assessment. Ultimately, it's to look at the amount of homes you're going to require with a projection till 2051. So what we hope is that our municipal partners will realize that we're in the middle of a housing crisis. They'll do their due diligence to review their plan to be able to accommodate this growth. And at the end of the day, it'll result in more homes being built and more people being able to realize the dream of home ownership. That's the whole point of us doing this exercise.
Now, has Hamilton submitted its growth plan to the province yet?
They haven't, so we want to give our opportunity to do our due diligence. My message to Hamilton and your citizens is that all options are still on the table. However, we are disappointed with Council's decision about the no urban boundary expansion, because at the end of the day, what will happen is housing prices will continue to skyrocket. So we want our municipal partners to realize that Ontario is in a housing crisis. Too many young families, seniors, too many hardworking Ontarians can't realize the dream of home ownership. So part of what we hope is that all municipalities in the Greater Golden Horseshoe will get their official plans done on time. We'll do the projections on what type of homes and what type of opportunities need to be put forward so that people can have that home ownership dream realized.
Now, I understand that the province can override the municipality's decision. So am I hearing from you that if you're disappointed with the way Hamilton's voted, that you could just step in and say, no, we're going ahead with this?
Yeah, I think that's, we're certainly not at that point yet. We want to receive the report from Hamilton. We want the message to be, as I said, that all options are still on the table, and we want to work with our municipal partners. The fact is, because we're in such a housing crisis, regardless of the measures that we've put in as a government to see, a record numbers of housing starts last year, despite the pandemic, we're now looking at the more longer-term sustainable solutions. We need to put a plan in place with not just municipal governments, with our federal partners as well. All three levels of government have a role in housing affordability, and the official plan piece that we're asking Hamilton Council to deal with is just one piece in that strategy.
Is the province getting pressure from developers that support your party?
No, that's not it at all. I think most Ontarians realize that there's a whole generation that hasn't been able to or just don't see that they can own a house that meets their needs and their budget. We've got seniors that want to downsize, that have no opportunity to buy something in the market that meets their needs today. This is all about working with all three levels of government to make sure housing is more affordable. That's the exercise, plain and simple.
But what about urban sprawl versus urban density? Because there are a lot of places in Hamilton that are empty parking lots right now that could have, intensification in housing.
Yeah, and that's a good point. The reports that I've seen from the City of Hamilton planners is that, infill development and intensification won't meet all of the projections that they've put forward for population, that there is going to have to be additional homes being built in the urban boundary. So that's the documentation that I understand. We're looking at from now to 2051, Hamilton to be expanding by an additional 236,000 people. So those additional homes, regardless of intensification, my understanding from the report is that can't all be accommodated within the urban boundary, and that's why I think the more responsible approach would be to look at how can we accommodate it, and again, the council has made their decision. While I'm disappointed, my message to people watching the show is I still have hope that those people that want and realize the opportunity to own their own home at some point, that there is lots of time for us to work with Hamilton, lots of time to work with other municipalities, and lots of time to work with the federal government on a more broader housing affordability solution. But
Okay.
my message to every municipality that is in the middle of this official plan exercise, they need to get their official plans in on time. They need to look at the land needs assessment, and they need to plan, to expand and have homes being built.
Okay, Minister Clark, we have run out of time, but thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.